This content is produced by Darknet Breaker, a cybersecurity and dark web education brand. All videos, posts, and content are strictly for educational and awareness purposes only. We do not promote, support, or encourage any illegal activity. Our mission is to expose digital threats, protect online users, and educate the public about cybersecurity risks in the modern world. Stay ethical. Stay protected.
The dark web is widely known as the internet's lawless underground, a haven for hackers, black markets, and untraceable cybercrime. But it wasn't built by criminals. It was engineered by the United States military to hide undercover spies. The story starts in the mid-1990s at the United States Naval Research Laboratory in Washington, D.C. At the time, standard end-to-end encryption worked perfectly for securing the actual text of an email or file. If intercepted, the contents were unreadable. But it left the metadata, the digital envelope containing the sender's IP address, the recipient's location, and the time of transmission, completely exposed. Researchers called this the Pentagon pizza problem. Even if a pizza order is heavily encrypted, if a foreign adversary notices a sudden late-night surge of data packets flowing from the Pentagon to a nearby pizza place, they can easily deduce that a major operation is brewing without reading a single word of the message. For a CIA operative or Navy intelligence officer working deep in hostile territory, this metadata trail was a literal death sentence. Just seeing exactly who was talking to whom and from where was enough to expose an entire network of assets. Securing the message itself was no longer enough. The military had to invent a way to make the physical routing of the data completely invisible to the internet infrastructure itself. By 1995, 3 computer scientists at the Naval Research Lab, Paul Cyberson, David Goldschlag, and Mike Reed, developed a theoretical solution. They called it onion routing. Instead of sending a transmission straight from point A to point B, the user's data is wrapped in multiple concentric layers of encryption. It is then bounced through a randomized circuit of at least 3 servers, an entry node, a middle node, and an exit node. Every computer in the sequence only possesses the specific cryptographic key to peel off its single layer, revealing nothing except the immediate next hop. By the time the final layer is removed and the data reaches the open internet, the chain of custody is broken. No single computer in the entire circuit knows both the identity of the sender and their final destination. The mathematics of onion routing perfectly solved the metadata vulnerability, but bringing it out of the lab and into reality created an impossible operational nightmare. The military faced a glaring logical paradox. If you build a completely invisible ghost network, but only American spies are allowed to use it, the network itself becomes a massive red flag. Any foreign intelligence agency monitoring their country's internet gateways would instantly identify that anyone connecting to this specific routing system was a high-level U.S. government asset. There is a mathematical law to anonymity. You cannot hide in an empty room. To truly disappear, you need a massive crowd as statistical noise. The military realized they had to surrender exclusivity to survive. In 2002, they took their classified stealth technology, named it Tor, the onion router, and released it to the global public as free open-source software. To rapidly build their digital crowd, the original designers actively encouraged adoption by cypherpunks, privacy activists, and civil liberties groups like the Electronic Frontier Foundation. It was a profound historical trade-off. To hide the metadata of a single intelligence operative, the U.S. government was forced to grant absolute, unbreakable anonymity to millions of ordinary people. In 2004, Tor deployed a technological leap known as hidden services, identifiable by the .onion domain. This allowed web servers to obscure their locations. The user and server could each build independent Tor circuits, splicing them together at a blind rendezvous point. This created two-way anonymity, where neither host nor visitor knows who the other is. 5 years later, an anonymous inventor released Bitcoin. For the first time, a decentralized, untraceable digital currency could be spent on a decentralized, untraceable internet. That exact fusion provided the digital underground with exactly what it needed: anonymous communication paired with anonymous money. It officially gave birth to the illicit dark web. The military's strategy to hide their spies in a massive crowd of users worked flawlessly, but by solving their own operational security problem, they accidentally laid the indestructible foundation for global cybercrime. Today, Tor exists in a state of deep irony. It is a technology the United States government desperately relies on and desperately tries to destroy. Agencies like the State Department continue to pump millions of dollars into Tor to protect human rights defenders, whistleblowers, and foreign intelligence assets operating under oppressive regimes. Simultaneously, domestic law enforcement and intelligence bodies, like the FBI and the NSA, spend millions of dollars attempting to crack the exact same network to catch criminals and dismantle darknet markets. The military built a ghost network so mathematically perfect that even they cannot turn it off. It proves that absolute digital privacy is a package deal. You cannot build a shield for the righteous without also handing it to the wicked.